Hello and welcome everybody to today's Commodities Corner presented by myself, Phil Carr, at the Gold and Silver Club. During today's session, we will be covering live market analysis. We will be going through a watch list of trading opportunities, providing you with a forecast of where we expect gold, silver and oil to be heading next, answering questions and of course, providing live support. Any questions or comments, any contributions during the session, feel very free to put those into the chat and we will go through those during today's session. So first of all, let me introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. The Gold and Silver Club is the #1 commodities trading and investment coaching company. We're regarded as the go-to authority on commodities trading, as internationally respected experts. Our analysis and our opinions on the metals, the energies and the agriculture markets, they're routinely sought by major financial television channels and publications, which includes Bloomberg, Reuters, CNBC, the Financial Times, the Wall Street Journal. For further information on the Gold and Silver Club and our expertise, please feel free to visit www.thegoldandsilverclub.com. Okay, so before we get into it and have a look at the charts, first of all, we'll start off with just year-to-date performance at the moment to give you an idea of how the markets have performed so far in 2017. So at the moment, palladium has been leading the way. Palladium is up over 17% this year, followed closely behind by the Nasdaq, which is up over 11%, silver, which is up just under 12%, gold, which is up 11%, and we've also got platinum, which is up just under 8% as well. So overall, the metals have certainly been among the strongest performing of the market. Some of the weaker markets over 2017 have been natural gas, which is down over 19%, sugar, which is down over 15%, and also cocoa, which is down just over 14% as well. So those have been some of the weaker markets this year. Ultimately, the markets we're more interested in and the ones that we'll be trading and looking at on binary.com include the metals, so essentially gold, silver, platinum and palladium, and also we'll be looking at oil as well. Right, so before we go and have a look at the charts, also just a quick rundown of the major economic events coming up over the US session this afternoon. We've got manufacturing PMI and services PMI coming up at 2:45 London time. At 3 o'clock, we've got existing home sales, so expect some volatility on the US dollar, on gold and silver at that point in time. And then at 6 o'clock, we've got the US Baker Hughes oil rig count, which again will likely impact oil later on this afternoon. So we can certainly expect some volatility there. Now, of course, as we go into the weekend here, we have on Sunday the first round of the French elections. And there's a lot of anticipation for this, particularly the impact it will have on the euro and also precious metals. Safe haven demand potentially will go up as a result, just depending on how the results come in after the first round of the French election. So that will be taking place on Sunday. And then we've got the European Central Bank, the meetings which are going to be occurring later on this month as well. In fact, that will be next week on Thursday, so Thursday 27th of April. And then as we go into May, we've also got the OPEC meetings as well. So there's quite a lot going on in the weeks to come. And of course, June, we've now got the UK election as well as the FOMC statement. So there's a lot happening in the market. So with that, we'll move over to the charts. We'll talk you through what we're looking at the moment and the type of trades that you can look to utilize for the current market conditions. Because the markets are quite choppy at the moment, they are tending to favor quicker in and out trades right now. So getting in and out the same day, or just being more responsive to the markets, being able to buy or sell more quickly and be able to just reverse position and so forth where needed, depending on volatility. And this is ideal for binary, where you can be in and out of a trade within a shorter duration of time. So 5 hours works well, looking at the price to either be higher or the price to be lower. So for example, on gold at the moment, you can see here, duration of 5 hours, the overall payout for either the price to be higher or the lower based on a 5,000 payout would be a deposit of £2,843.26 for the price to be higher, and for the price to be lower, deposit of £2,853.01 for a payout of 5,000. So just to give you an idea of how it works with regard to your net profit on trades. And the flexibility, the up and down trades are good. The hourly trades are quite good because you can be in and out of the trade several times a day here, and that allows you to be quite nimble with current market conditions. So what we'll do, we'll move it over to the charts. You should be able to see my charts coming up very shortly. So let's just see. Hopefully this should work now. You should be able to see my chart. Okay, perfect. Right, good. So at the moment, we're just on the gold chart right now. And first of all, what I bring you over to actually, which is important to understand at the moment, is gold euro leads gold versus the US dollar. So whenever you're tracking gold versus the US dollar, it's important to be aware of the price action on gold euro as well. And we've seen a bit of a breakdown over the course of the earlier part of this week, and now we've been starting to correct here for the last 4 or 5 days until yesterday. We saw a bounce to the upside, a blip up after this recent correction. And you can see even today, we've broken above yesterday's high. Gold price in euros at 11.98 at the moment. It's already had quite a significant surge in the early part this morning, in the early part of the day here. We've popped higher. And overall, we are getting supported at a major underlying trend channel. So just understanding that gold versus the euro is essentially leading gold versus the US dollar can help you get the right side on this move. Now, we've got a lot of potential risk over the course of the weekend, and volatility in gold could certainly get bid up possibly throughout the US session today and into the close off the back of a safe haven buy. It hasn't really broken down the way it looked like it could do earlier on this week. There's been a lot of underlying support at the 1280 zone. It's been bid up several times from that level. It's tested it over the last 3 days. That level of support has not given way. We've seen buyers come in at that zone, and as such, I see this as a buying opportunity at the moment around this level. Now, whether you look to get in and out of this over the course of today, to be out before the weekend, before some volatility off the back of the French elections, or whether you're just looking to get in this trade for a potential gap higher as we go into next week, I would certainly keep an eye on gold today. You can see it's broken above yesterday's high, created a higher high, higher low at the moment. And again, I'm just tracking this via gold euro as well, because overall we're getting a bounce to the upside. Underlying support channel is holding here on gold versus the euro. So I would keep a very close eye on this market. So at the moment, that's the overall price structure. You can see we've broken above yesterday's high, starting to surge here on gold versus the euro and gold US dollar. Gold versus the US dollar is also starting to build up some momentum. I would suggest here, in fact, that we've got a bull flag formation. Essentially, we've already broken above. We're starting to breach above the highs. We'd look for more follow through and essentially a move back up towards the 1300 zone at the moment on gold. So I would keep an eye out for that over the course of the US session today for those of you who trade gold. Moving over also, we'll go over to oil. Also, I think the S&P 500 is quite interesting where it's sat right now, because it has managed yesterday to break and close above the last week's worth of highs here. So the surge that we've had to the upside, we've broken and closed around the 50-day moving average. And today so far, a bit of an inside candle forming. But if the S&P 500, which has given back very little of the gains over the last 24 hours, especially considering that oil broke down significantly earlier on this week and it hasn't really had too much of a negative impact on the S&P 500, I would suggest this market looks ready for a breakout. If it can take out yesterday's high, climb above the 50-day moving average, we would likely then build up some momentum to the upside here and potentially start to break through this overhead resistance. So I'm also watching the S&P, and you might want to have a look at that for a potential buying opportunity in the short term for the price to be higher. Of course, if it was to break down and break through support, break the underlying trend channel here, close below it, it would likely then start to correct further. But at the moment, it's holding where it needs to hold. And if we were to see a break above yesterday's high, that would break above the weekly highs, and especially if we get going above the 50-day moving average, that would likely cause more momentum to continue to the upside here. So I would definitely keep an eye on this market as well. Now, moving over to oil. Oil finally had a resolution this week. So it broke all the way up. This is US oil at the moment. We had quite a significant surge over the course of most of March here, where we've seen this big move to the upside, and throughout half of April as well. Came into overhead resistance towards the end of last week, produced an inverse hammer, had a couple of these inverse hammers which have developed over the last few days, broke below on Tuesday, and then Wednesday was the day where we really started to see pressure to the downside here. Oil really got going in quite a big way here. You can see where it broke down. Key support has come all the way back down to $50.50 per barrel. So it's had quite a significant move, formed an inside candle around this zone. So I will be looking to see. It is a little bit short-term oversold at the moment. So we'll see whether it has additional legs to break through this level of support as well, around $50.40 per barrel here. But if it does break below that level, I would anticipate a move back towards a 200-day moving average, which at the moment is currently sitting around, just about the 49 37 zone, so $49.30 per barrel. So on an additional break below support, that's the major level I would look for oil to test next. It's consolidating at the moment. Doesn't look that great for the oil bulls right now. It looks like it could break down, break support, and have another shift lower here. So I'll definitely keep an eye on oil here as well for a potential trade opportunity, but just be mindful right now. It could get supported at this zone. It depends whether it does break or not. If it does get supported, we are then potentially just moving between key support and resistance, and it might get a retracement and a rally back up towards $52.50 per barrel here, taking oil essentially back to resistance. Moving over to the weekly chart, oil has been moving extremely well based on weekly confirmations and the weekly price structure as well. So if you marry up the swing lows here on the chart, going back to 2016, March 2016, each of these major swing lows has been holding throughout most of this year. So you've seen buyers come in at the lower end of the trend channel, certainly sellers come in once it gets into an overbought condition at the upper end of the channel here. We've also got another set of overhead resistance here, which is where oil came into resistance right at the peak here, and you can see where it broke down, closed below support, and in fact it's been quite a large sell-off here, and it has the potential to then break down and surge to the next level of support, but it would need to take out the weekly pivot, well, the monthly pivot, in fact. It would need to take that out in order to drive lower there. So we might well see that next week. Ideally, if oil consolidates a little bit more, it will build a little bit more pressure for the next leg lower, because it looks like the overall trend is getting decided at the moment, and that could be quite a clean breakdown in price. Otherwise, just continue to watch this to see whether we do get a breach of major support. Also, moving over to Brent crude oil. Brent crude oil has had a very similar move over the last few days as well. So also broke down from major support here, took out all this level of consolidation to the left of the chart. So all this chop on the left did get taken out, and we've had quite a strong move lower here, back towards the next major level of support around the Fibonacci level, sitting at $53 per barrel here. A little bit of support at this level as well. So I am watching oil quite carefully here. It's starting to get short-term oversold, although it could still break down lower. So I think really what we've got at the moment is the potential, if it breaks above this inside candle, if it breaks above the high of this inside candle, we could see a retracement taking it back towards resistance. If it breaks below support of this inside candle around the 52.90 zone, then we could see a shift lower here, coming back again to the 200-day moving average around $51.50 per barrel. So I'll be watching this for which way it's going to break out. It's been consolidating now for a while, developed an inside candle on the daily chart, and I'm interested to see which way this is going to move next, although overall momentum is shifting in favor of the bears. The bears definitely have control of this market at the moment. Now, moving over to silver. So gold euro and gold versus the US dollar have both had a blip higher today. Overall, if you have a look at gold to silver ratio at the moment, it does tend to favor upside on gold versus silver. So it is possible that silver could sell off today, but gold will go up. Based on the gold to silver ratio at the moment, tends to favor a breakout on gold rather than silver. Silver has continued the momentum lower this morning. It's coming in for a retest of the 50-day moving average, back to underlying support. It's not really been able to continue this momentum higher. From the Sunday open, it gapped on the open, filled the gap, managed to retrace off that, broke back below $18.50 per ounce here, and currently, yeah, it's back testing underlying support. So we'll watch this carefully today to see. You've got a trend channel on silver here, so there might well see a bit of a bounce off this zone if we can see gold get up and running this afternoon. But you can see here underlying support coming in for a retest of that level. Also underlying support around the $18 per ounce zone as well. So I'll be watching here carefully on silver to see if we will get some sort of bounce around this zone or get a rejection candle form from this layer of support. So also silver is worth having a look at, although I think really the trade is going to be occurring on gold today. Platinum as well. Platinum, more encouraging than silver, certainly. Platinum is starting to build up some momentum to the upside. In fact, it managed to get above the 50-day moving average so far this morning. It's broken above the last couple of days' worth of highs. You can see here I've highlighted the key areas of support and resistance. So ultimately, at the moment on platinum, I'm looking for a break above the highs here, taking it above approximately the 985 zone here, and then we could get some additional momentum to the upside. Platinum usually, if you're trading it on, for example, the MetaTrader 4 platform, it would normally require quite a large spread. But when you trade it on the binary platform is quite nice because you're not going to have to pay that big spread when you're taking on a position. So it can be quite useful, especially for quicker trades if you're just looking to get in and out the same day, because Platinum normally requires quite large stop losses. So having the ability to get in and out on shorter time frames can certainly work well in your favor here. So I would definitely keep an eye on Platinum as well over the course of today's US session. If it breaks above the 985 level, I would suggest that is a buying opportunity for a potential breakout here. So I will keep an eye on this market as well for the next trade setup to develop, or certainly to confirm. So break above that level, I would then expect a pop higher here for Platinum. Also Palladium. Now, we've actually had a breakout to the upside yesterday, so close above the highs. Palladium is one of the best performing markets this year. It's up over 17%. It's been a very strong market in 2017. Each time it has a retest towards the 50-day moving average, the lower end of the trend channel here, it is tending to get bid back up again. You can see at the moment it popped higher over the course of the London session today. I'm watching carefully to see whether we'll get some follow through to the upside here. I would also just keep an eye on overall US dollar strength too. You see US dollar pull back the last couple of days, but at the moment it's managed to retrace a little bit, formed a hammer on yesterday into the close, and it's retracing a little bit today. It's a little bit choppy right now, not doing really too much, sat around the 99.78 zone at the moment. It does have quite a lot of overhead resistance to get through here. And if we do see weakness on the US dollar today, that will likely be a catalyst. Also, the inverse correlation the US dollar has with gold and silver would likely lead to then a further pop to the upside. The US dollar might also get treated as more of a safe haven as we go into the weekend here. Traders possibly not wanting to have too much risk on the euro and possibly moving over to the US dollar is a potential as well here as we go into the French elections on Sunday, so we'll be watching out for that. It is possible that we could see the US dollar go up, gold go up, and also stock markets go up. That's what's happening at the moment, which is interesting. So we're certainly seeing a bit of a safe haven play at the moment across the board. And of course, this time next week when we're back on the commodity call, is going to be very interesting to assess how the markets have played out really over the last week. So this is going to be very interesting, how the markets open on Sunday, how they react to the first round of the French election as well. So we will be watching that very carefully indeed. And also platinum and palladium, I think we've covered silver and gold. Is there anything else? I think the only other market, which you just mentioned earlier, would be the S&P 500 here. So potential for a breakout higher if it can clear above the weekly highs here. So certainly if the S&P 500 breaks above 2,361, that zone, that could be the launch pad for a breakout here and quite a significant move, because that will then mean it's closed back above the 50-day moving average as well. It would have breached the upper end of this pennant formation. So we've got overhead resistance at the moment, which is starting. We haven't really got going too much with the S&P just yet, but as the US session starts to kick in, this could be a point where we could see additional momentum on this market. So I would have that on your radar, the potential for a breakout here on the S&P if it can get above the 2361 zone. So that's what I would be looking at the moment on the S&P 2. So just with a quick summary for those of you who might have joined a little bit later, I'd be looking at, certainly with oil, and UK oil is one you can trade on binary. In fact, you can see it's starting to pop up a little bit here. Oil, first of all, I'll be looking at the potential for a breakout in either direction, breaking above the previous day's high, either potential for a move higher here, retracement back towards the levels where it break down from earlier on this week, or if we break below the lows, a continuation pattern taking it back down to the 200-day moving average. But essentially for binary trading, it's just the price to be higher or lower based on a break above or below yesterday's high or low here can lead to just a short momentum trade opportunity over several hours there, getting out ideally before the Baker Hughes oil rig report, which is due out later on today. Gold at the moment, I favor momentum to the upside, although it's a little bit choppy. It's not really doing too much. Yesterday's price action was fairly muted as well. It'll probably get going as we continue with the US session later as well, but we are getting supported where gold needs to get supported. It popped higher this morning, and gold versus the euro is also confirming a potential buy here in the short term on gold versus the US dollar as well. So they will likely have a lot of support. It's unlikely that gold will break down much today just prior to the potential risk over the weekend with the French US elections. So it's held a lot of underlying support over the course of this week, and we'll continue to watch that closely to see how the price action develops over the course of the US session today. So with that, if you enjoyed today's analysis and you'd like access to this on a more of a regular basis, if you'd like to join us during the live trading rooms, if you'd like to know the exact entry, exit, take profit on all of the trades that we're taking at the Gold and Silver Club, you want more regular analysis, you want weekend updates, you want access to our live trading rooms and our membership site to get exclusive access to that, all you need to do is go to www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com, complete the application form, and we will get in touch with you ASAP. So that is www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com, complete the application form, and we will get in touch with you ASAP. Again, as being a member of the Gold and Silver Club, you get access to our trading strategies and our online training course. You get exclusive weekly live trading room webinars, recordings of every session, live trade setups ready to implement, real-time notifications so you're not missing out on profitable trades, details of where to enter, exit, place a stop, trade management, the inside tracks for the week ahead trading plan and watch list, and access to our private traders academy members website. So again, just to make an application to that, you can do that very simply by going over to www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com. Okay, fantastic. So with that, let me just quickly check in with everybody. Okay, super. So with that, that's the end of today's session, guys. So I wish you a very profitable day's trading. Have a fantastic weekend. Wish you all the best. Look forward to hear from those of you who will be making an application to join us at the Gold and Silver Club, and we'll speak to you all very soon. Okay, take care, guys. Have a great day. Thanks, everyone. All the best. Bye-bye.